And you can smirk all you want.
Mr. Sims, direct your attention towards me, please.
You're a criminal. Why do I got to address you? The feds need to address you. DOJ need to address you, and hopefully Donald Trump will address you.
And the rest of them that know what time it is, y'all come on. You leave that loser where he is. He's a loser. He's a loser.
14% rating is what you appear to have, Brandon Johnson, across the United States, or how they see you.
Woke Mayor Brandon Johnson has Chicago on the verge of bankruptcy. This man who ran on no new tax hikes, no new taxes, this man has proposed a $300 million property tax increase on his residents, on his constituents, the people that he lied to because he needs to fund illegal immigrants. This man has put Chicago in such a massive hole, bankrolling, financing illegal immigrants with all type of luxuries. So we're going to get into how this man is more worried about Trump. He has more energy to attack Trump than he does to take care of his own damn city. So let's break down his delusional loyalty to the Democrat Party and how his loyalty to this agenda from the DNC is bankrupting Chicago. Outrageous spending, completely neglecting things going on, the crime, the homelessness. This is what happened when you have progressive leaders prioritizing party politics over their own people. So like I said, Brandon Johnson campaigned heavily. No new taxes. We're not going to raise property taxes. We're not going to increase it by 1 penny. All of a sudden, yeah, look, I know I said that, but things have changed. I got all these migrants. The DNC is giving me orders. I don't want to end up like Eric Adams in New York. I got to do what the DNC tells me. So I'm going to raise your taxes. I'm going to propose $300 million because we are $1 billion in the hole. This is Brandon Johnson's proposal. And why are there $1 billion in the hole? Reckless spending. And one of the major causes is illegal immigrants, along with overpaying teachers and all that, but that's a different video. The residents in Chicago have revolted. We just saw a little bit of it at the beginning, but let's look at a little bit more of it.
How does it feel that Trump is in office right now? You see the Mayor Brandon Johnson? You underestimate us. You underestimate the black people, and you underestimate Chicago Red. We're the thorn in y'all side, and we're going to be the thorn on everybody else in this council member side too. If you don't stop what you're doing, we're going to take matters in our own hand, and we're going to stop it.
Because you're going to protect the undocumented, while you're going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer under your, 33%? When C. Joe Lopez cooked that 3% up a long time ago. Y'all called it a circuit breaker. Y'all been talked about it. Remember, before you came in here and gave that jovial speech, you need to be inspected.
You just like a schoolyard bully. That at some point, and you might not know nothing about it because you grew up in Elgin, but those of us who grew up on the south side and west side of Chicago, we all know at some point that bully gets cornered in the alley, and everybody come at him, and he ain't gonna have nobody to help him. That's you. That's you. Keep thinking you ain't gonna abide by what the President of the United States said. Everybody know better than that. I see you, Anna Valencia, in your red. You know what it is. This is the second time you showed up in City Council in red. You know what it is.
Over the last 2 years or so, 2.5 years, tens of thousands of illegal immigrants, migrants, or as Brandon Johnson calls them, newcomers, have entered Chicago through the southern border. And Chicago has offered these people free food, free housing, 6 months free rent in nice apartments, video games, luxuries, laundry services, backpacks filled with school supplies, all types of stuff. But the residents of Chicago, they're dealing with black on black crime. They're dealing with decaying infrastructure. They're dealing with all types of crack and meth heads and people roaming the streets doing stuff to people. Where's the money for that? Oh, he redirected that money in order to fund illegal immigrants. Interesting. This man proposes massive tax hikes in order to pay for these luxuries for illegal immigrants. Completely ludicrous idea. But he's a far leftist. All of their ideas are extreme and ludicrous. But Brandon Johnson was humiliated. Last week he went with his proposal up there to raise property taxes after lying to his constituents. He went up there to raise property taxes, and his own city council crushed him. annihilated him. Let's look at this short clip here to look at how bad this devastating loss was for him.
It is unanimous. Every single alderperson voted it down, the mayor's $300 million property tax proposal.
It's a devastating loss for Mayor Johnson. I've been here, going on 17 years. I've never seen this kind of vote take place. And I think in many of our lifetimes, we've never seen this. So it sends a message that massive property tax increase he was looking for is not going to happen.
So as we can see, it was a unanimous defeat, 50-0. This man doesn't have a single ally over there to help him out because he's wasting money. Completely burning taxpayer money. And unlike the feds, Chicago doesn't have the ability to pull money out of their ass with the money printer. Now Brandon Johnson, he's salty, he's upset, he's about to cry. This man has been dealing with depression, being hospitalized, over stress and stuff like that because his job is too much for him. Now he wants to lash out at Trump. He wants to lash out at a reporter because the reporter was calling out the fact, like, look, dude, you're one of the most least popular mayors in the country. You have a lower approval rating than Beetlejuice Lori Lightfoot. You got to be a trash, sorry-ass mayor to be doing a worse job than Beetlejuice. But let's look at Brandon Johnson getting upset about it.
It's not just a threat to Chicago, but a threat to what is sensible about this country. And as mayor of the city of Chicago, we're not going to bend or break or cower to someone's threat. We're going to stand up and unite around our shared values, and they have my assurance that I'm going to protect the families of this city.
Your approval rating is at an historic low. Chicagoans are saying that you're a worse mayor than Lori Lightfoot. Chicagoans felt that any tax increase that you propose is simply a migrant tax, that money's going to pay for migrants, almost to the penny. Donald,
Better hurry up and ask a question, otherwise your arm going to get real tired. Hurry up.
No, I'm good.
Well, we're not, so hurry up.
Right. Holman has already said
You're about to get that mic passed. You got to ask the question, sir. You're wasting people's time.
Well,
just ask the
hundreds
question.
Of thousands of people on
Okay, so
William
check
J.
this
Kelly
out.
on
If
Twitter.
you don't ask your question, we're going to move on to somebody else.
You're interrupting my question is what
You haven't asked
makes it difficult.
Can we
okay?
move on to the next person,
Okay.
Nef
Here's the question.
Thank you.
$1 billion.
Okay, I've
in
had
the hole.
enough of this.
How are you?
You have to learn how to articulate yourself and ask an articulate question. Here's how we're going to balance our budget. Thank you. I've heard your question. You know what? Let's take this mic from this person here.
You keep on attacking the messenger, Brandon Johnson. You can get hurt. You can get in your feelings. You can talk crap. You can try to cut the man off. But at the end of the day, this is your own doing. And why is it his doing? Again, he is a delusional far-left extremist. But at the same time, these mayors of these large Democrat cities, they don't have the ability to make complete independent decisions. Because these large cities, New York, LA, Chicago, places like that, they hold a lot of power in the Democrat Party, and they are used to push the Democrat agenda. So when a mayor starts to step out of line, like Eric Adams over there bashing Biden over illegal immigration, they crack the whip on him. You see Eric Adams, he might be going to jail. We're going to talk about that in a different video. But Brandon Johnson, he wants to follow the orders from on high, the people at the top of the DNC, pushing the agenda, pushing illegal immigration throughout the country into these large cities like Denver, like LA, like Chicago, like New York. So he has to follow orders. He has to do what he's told because he's not really a mayor. He's not a mayor in title, but he's really a manager for the DNC. He's managing in this large city. And he can't get it out of line. And he's going to easily fall into what the DNC wants him to do because, again, he's completely delusional. We got real world issues going on with these people. Like I said, decaying infrastructure, old abandoned buildings. The South Side needs to be revitalized, needs some investment, needs some business, need more cops, need more funding to clean up the streets over there, to clean up the homelessness, to get the drugs out the street. You got all types of real issues where this money could go towards. And of course, don't even get me started on the education, the elementary, middle school, and high school education going on in Chicago because it's horrific. But no, Brandon Johnson, he's not concerned about that, even though he's bought and paid for by the teachers union. He's more concerned about going into near bankruptcy for illegal immigrants. So let me know what you guys think about this. Brandon Johnson's tax hike, attempting to raise the taxes by $300 million after spending $400 million on illegal immigrants. Then he wants to lash out at Trump. After months ago, he had lashed out at Greg Abbott, governor of Texas, wants to lash out at reporters. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more honest conservative commentary. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.